There's not a single day that passes without you on my mind. Not even 1 minute can end up.
Hello, Simply Passionate Life. Hello, Simply Passionate Life. It's Precious KW here, and today has been a day. You would not believe it. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get started, so let's get started. If you're new to our channel, thanks for coming. Subscribe below and keep up with all the things that we have going on here. If you've been returning, thank you. Keep coming, keep sharing. If you've seen my intro video, you will see that Simply Passionate Life is all about living in the moment, enjoying every moment of life, from the simple to the extraordinary. Guys, some extraordinary things have been happening to me, and I'm just so excited to share with you. Also in my intro video, I told you guys that you'll be watching me as I follow my dreams, as I try to live simply and passionately and to encourage others to do the same. So I was able to go to the Georgia State Capitol, and I got to have private meetings with 2 senators and 1 representative. It was amazing. We got to talk about all the things that I'm passionate about: education, school choice, immigration. Oh my gosh. So you guys go back and watch that video from last week. It was great. We got to talk about how undocumented immigrants, oftentimes their children don't have access to financial aid, applications, even merit-based scholarships that they may have earned. So that was amazing. And then I had my first official speaking engagement, and it was amazing. I am so excited, and I can't wait to watch the footage. I'm a little nervous, but today was off the chain. I'm going to thank First Place for Health, a fantastic organization that has Christian-based healthcare and wellness programs, for inviting me out to speak at you all's wellness conference in Southeast United States. And we had a great time. Towards the end of the video, you'll see there's no conclusion because I wanted to keep the confidentiality of the participants, and there was a question and answer period. So that's why the end is cut off. I love you guys so much. I enjoy being here with you guys every week, and I'm really excited to share the footage with you guys. Hold my hand as we walk through it. Well, similar to Gladys, I love music. One of my biggest rules is that I have to have interaction. So I brought my music, which is what I always play at the beginning of all my episodes. So if you don't mind standing up with me, we're going to just have about 30 seconds to enjoy this music. I just have like a cardinal rule. I hate talking to myself. As she said, I'm a counselor. And I'm a counselor of the school variety. I'm a school counselor from 8 to 4, 5, 6, whatever time. But that's my craft, and that's what I love to do. I got to a point a few months ago where I decided I love being a counselor, but there's more to what I'm supposed to be doing. And that's when Simply Passionate Life began. And I'm just so thankful for Finda being open to me coming and speaking with you guys, because it seems like there's a lot of similarities in what I'm about and what First Place for Health is about. And so it's really exciting. Like, I'm really excited, especially after hearing Gladys, because I was like, whew, I can just be myself, a church girl from Chicago. Chicago. Oh yeah. So I can just be myself and throw in as many scriptures as I need to over here, because we're really about the same thing. Okay, so how to find your motivation. This was a good one, because I feel like it's so important. Motivation is a funny term or funny title, because I don't think motivation is something that you lost, that you have to go find, or something that's not there that you have to discover. A lot of times, your motivation is already deep down inside of you. You just have to kind of dig it up, right? Or it's something that you do notice every day, but don't really look at it as a motivation. So we're going to talk about a little bit about different ways to find your motivation. But first, we're going to start with my story. My family's from Ghana, West Africa. I was the second to last child of my parents. 5 of us, very different, all different types of individuals, growing up in the same household. The gap between my sister and I, my oldest sister and I, is 18 years. So as you can see, there is a big spectrum of people there. But I was the only one that was chubby. You know, like my sister and my mom, they were small as kids and kind of picked up their weight with childbirth and things like that. But me, I was the only one with the rice and stew, was sticking, okay? And I just was a chubby child, but my mama never treated me different. They loved me. She probably should have fed me a little less than the other children, but she didn't. She gave me all the same snacks and all the same sugary cereals as everyone else. Also, because we were of Ghanaian descent, I didn't speak English until I was 4. And so I had a very distinct lisp, which I still kind of have to this day. It's charming now, but back then it wasn't so cute when you have to go to speech therapy twice a week because of your lisp. So I didn't start speaking English until I was 4. Around like middle school, high school, I started realizing like I really am bigger than other kids. You know, I was about size 13 in 8th grade, about 185 pounds in 8th grade. Like, I was a full-grown woman in middle school. Thank God for his protection. I never had too much unwarranted attention from men, but I looked like a grown person in high school. And I started to realize like, I have a big personality, I'm an extrovert. I can use my big personality to detract from my insecurities. I can just be the friendliest person, the funniest person. I can be friends with all the jocks and hang out with my sister's friends who are the cheerleaders and the homecoming queens, and I'll blend in, right? So you do that for a while, and it becomes a really bad habit. You end up having that crowded loneliness where you're around people all the time and you're popular, right? You should be happy, but deep down, you're on, it's a decent nods. You know that your extrovert, your good personality is not going to get you to sleep at night. And so fast forward, I graduated from college, I moved down to Atlanta, and I'd really gotten into some unhealthy relationships, some unhealthy habits really took over me. And I had just ballooned, literally, into a person that I didn't even recognize anymore. And that's about 5 years after that first picture, but I feel like that first picture was cute. And so I really had gotten to a place where I didn't even weigh myself anymore. I didn't take pictures, which is very absurd. If you watch my Instagram, well, you guys don't, but Fender can tell you I love taking pictures. So I got to a point where I never took pictures because I didn't want to document how far I had let myself go. And it wasn't until right before my 25th birthday when I said, I haven't met my husband yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have kids sometime in this life, and I need to get this together. Like, I can't push anything out. I can't even walk, let alone have an 8-hour labor. Something has got to change. I was so frustrated with myself, so angry with what I had let myself do, and I was too young. I said, you're too young to have let it go. Like, you have no excuse. And that's when I found my motivation. Completely, truly, and haven't really looked back since. So I'm hoping that we can find some ways to not even just find your motivation, but reignite it and learn how to find motivation every day, even in the simplest moments. So I feel like the first thing that helps you find your motivation are your feelings. And so for the note takers, we have 3 F's. I'm like an alliteration person, I don't know. Feelings, future, and faith. So we're talking about our feelings. Your feelings are a phenomenal barometer and thermometer to where your passion lies. A lot of times we have passions that lie dormant and do not ever become actions. And so I realized that like certain things within us will shine a light to where we are to go. So I have a question for you guys. When's the last time you were really mad? Like upset? Like I could cry, this made me so mad. Any volunteers? Anybody who wants to tell me the last time they were just really angry? Now, I know you love Jesus, but you might have had a moment that you were just really angry, or what was it? It could be something as little as the dishes not being done. For me, certain things, like I said, my parents were immigrants, so I have like some things that may happen I may see on social media that just make me really upset. Or for me, it was that I couldn't walk a flight of stairs, like I'm so upset. Or if the dishes are just so dirty and everyone's walking past them, why is everyone walking past those dishes? Or why is your coat and your shoes and your book bag all sitting right here in front of the door? Like, this is not where it goes. Like, what is the problem? And really, is it the shoes? She's 9. It's no big deal. It's not the shoes that really bother me, because you can take them up. The dishes, they're going to get clean eventually. It's not the dishes. Okay, someone's view on immigration, that's their perspective. That can't be it. But when you look deeper to the underlying thing, the shoes show a lack of attention. The lack of, obedience to your parents. The dishes, are you honoring my time, or are you taking me for granted? Okay? the immigration. Are you looking at your own perspective, or are you being empathetic to other people's views and other people's point of views? A lot of time, our feelings can help us see that underlying perspective or underlying principle. I'm a huge principle person. If you ask my husband, he'll tell you, I'm like, it's the principle though. I don't care if it's 35 cents. We deserve our change at the restaurant. I'm all about the principle of the matter. But our feelings really do help us to realize like what is within us that was given to us by God. And they're not a place to stay though. As you can see, like what makes us tick is important. Not so that we can just be angry people. And sometimes we stay away from our feelings. We like to talk about the happy feelings, which are also important. What makes you happy is just as important as what makes you angry. But when you get in a rut, sometimes you can't really, like what makes you happy are few and far between. What makes you really upset is right there ready for you. And the question you have to ask yourself is, God, what does this mean? My youth pastor growing up used to always say, if something makes you angry, fix it. We used to complain, there's no programs for the youth, there's no Bible study. She's like, I can train you. You want to host a Bible study? And we did that. You know, that was our past. If you have a problem, you can be the solution. And so when I realized that a lot of my peers, a lot of people I knew were still so focused on what they were meant to do in life and not why they're alive and how they are to live, I realized there was enough of me being angry about that and time for me to change it. Same with me. Once I realized that my weight had just gotten out of control, who's going to come and fix it? It's our turn to fix it. So it's important to find out your feelings. What is going on? As Gladys said, what's going on within you that you're like bottling up, that's not allowing you to move forward and to really shine a light to what direction you're supposed to go. And when you're talking about your feelings, there are three little acronyms, I guess, I use. They're T, S, and S to help you remember. Triggers are either your snags or your spurs. Okay, so we said spurs. We know the scripture, you know, we're supposed to spur one another on to love and good works, right? We know about our spurs. Those are the things that kind of get you going. Your kids, your family, a nice spring day that you have in February. All those types of things can spur you on. But what are those snags that, you know, you drive past Dairy Queen, the same route every day to work? Well, maybe you should just take a different route until you get that under control, right? There are some snags. For me, working late. When I work late, I already know I'm going to be extra hungry and I'm going to go for the first thing that I can walk past because I didn't pack a 4:30 snack. I packed a 3 o'clock snack, right? And so 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm hungry. And now we have issues, right? So that's a snack. And if I identify my snags, I can get ahead of that. A lot of times we don't not have motivation. You have it. You don't have to find it. It's in you. But there's some snags to your motivation that can throw you off track. Once you start to be reflective, all this is out of order, but it's okay, you guys. Be gracious towards me. Once you're reflective about where are those snags, where are those spurs? Oh, if I work out at 8 o'clock, I'm good. Every day, if I work out at that time, I get it done. Well, that's a spur. That means you need to keep that going. If it's something that you recognize really gets you going, a certain song that gets you going, then use that and always keep it consistent. But if you have a snag, if you know there's certain snags in your day, for myself, personally, my house was unorganized. It was a hot mess, you guys. Everything was everywhere, just unorganized. And I said, 2017, we've got to get it together. Because I can't eat in this kitchen. I can't work out in this living room because your shoes are in here. You know, that was a snag for me. And so realizing that my feelings helped me realize why does that bother me so much? This is why. It impacted my organization. It impacted my ability to go forward in my, with the things that I'm passionate about. So I want you all to start to be reflective about where are some snags in your day, snags in your life that are making you not as productive with your wellness journey as you would like to be. Okay? And so then we talk about snags, talk about spurs. Our emotions are great. They're great things to use as a flashlight to our future and flashlight to where we're going in life, but we're not supposed to stay there. We're not supposed to stay there. You have a future. You have a hope. James 1:5-6 says, if anyone lacks wisdom, ask God, and He will give it generously. A lot of times we don't realize that there's some things going on in our lives that we just need some, like God said, we just need some wisdom, like, Lord, what am I supposed to do with this? Why does this make me so angry? Or why does this keep tripping me up every time? And that's where we'll get the wisdom and the knowledge we need to move forward in that direction. And that new direction is your future. So that's the next F, the future. A lot of times we get tossed to and fro, like the waves of the sea, as James 1:5-6 says. Like, we get tossed back and forth. And as I just talked about, you're doing this program, or you're doing that program, or you go to your Bible study this week, but next week I'm done. I'm tired. I can't even make it. Not even on Zoom. I can't make it because you're just being tossed back and forth. But a lot of times it's because we're thinking about our present emotions and not letting them be a flashlight to our future. They become high beams. Now you're blinded. I'm so tired. I'm so frustrated. I'm so exhausted. Whatever emotion, overwhelmed, you throw them out to me. All the different emotions, they don't have to be anger. You might not be an angry bunch, which is good. I'm glad about that. But it's some emotions that are no longer used as a flashlight to help you along your path. They're high beams and they've stopped you dead in your tracks. I'm so lonely. I'm frustrated. Upset. Whatever the emotion is, tired, I feel like a failure because I can't get through. Whatever that emotion is, use it as a spur. Turn it from a snag to something that's going to spur you on to continue to motivate you. Think about your future. Think about what's 80 years in God's eyes? Nothing. Mom is 73. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that. But my mom is older, is a little older, and she is doing Pilates. She's walking, like she just started her own restaurant. Like you can't tell her anything. And that's because dreams don't have an age expiration date. Like, no, and you can be 19 and not dreaming at all. They say you just, wasted on the young. But it's not about just where you are in life. It's that each day is an opportunity to dream a new dream. And whether you've reached some of your goals that you previously had does not mean it's too late to start a new goal. So basically, the reason why I focus on feelings, not only because I'm a counselor, but because we are we're destined for so much more. We're destined for so much more than how we currently feel. And how we currently feel can just really be that light to shine where you're going in life and what you can do with your future. Always be reflective about what you've already accomplished. That is so key. So key. So I want you all to often do that, even at the end of each day. So like I said, your motivation is not something to find. It's something that's generally already there in you, but you don't recognize it. What have you done today? Every victory you need to celebrate. Doesn't matter how small the victory is, celebrate every small victory because that is what's going to get you to become a spur to your next day. If I did it yesterday, if I made it 5 minutes in that spin class, well, tomorrow I'm going to make it 8. And the next day I'm going to make it 10. Until one day, I'm going to make it to a full hour of that spin class. And to continue to motivate yourself by yourself. Your motivation should not necessarily be something else or somebody else that you've seen. You are your own success story. And those pictures off the first slide are mine. So I keep looking back at that picture from September, and I'm like, that was a good day. I look good in that day. Now that's going to have to be my motivation to get it back together by this September, right? You should be your own motivation. And I love how you said, I just want to just keep stealing off of you. Just was talking about her former self and saying, I wish I was not as hard on myself as I was then. And I'm pretty sure we can all figure out a time where we were really hard on ourselves, and now you're like, what was I thinking, right? So moving forward from your feelings, from your future, all goes down to your fate. I feel like in Western society, a lot of us are too focused on what we do and not who we are. And that is one of the things that really boils me up. Whenever you go to a function or to some type of mixer, they always ask me, what do you do? And I'm like, why? Why do you want to know what I do? Like, you want to know anything else about me other than what I do? And what if I stop doing what I do? What if I ever retire? Then what is the question? Like, that's just, no, it's not even important. Like, have you ever sat and thought, how would you describe yourself? Who are you? That is a better question. Like, oh, well, that's easy. I love to work out. I love to read. I I am really goofy. I talk super fast because my family's from West Africa and I learned English 4 years after I was born. Like, I can tell you more about who I am in a second than I can tell you what I do. Because that's going to be a 2-second conversation and we're going to move on to, okay, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, we're not digging deep into people anymore. And that is so important. Does anyone here feel like they can just tell us who they are and not include like a role? Y'all are quiet. Sorry. Anybody? You're looking at me, I'm looking at you. Like who, like give me one sentence of who you are.
Who I am at this very moment,
Yes.
but I can't use a role.
You can't use a role. You can use description words, but you can't use a role.
At times I am rebellious, but I am a person who trusts in a Lord that's faithful in spite of my rebellion. And I love him with all my heart.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And that's what finding your motivation is. You can't change, you can't take any of that away from her. You know, I would love to say I'm a wife, I'm a mother, I'm a counselor, and which is good, because those are things, those are what I, participate in. But God forbid my husband could be gone, my kids are born, no one day is promised. Who am I to need that? Like, I'm a lover, I'm a friend, I care about society, I cry when people cry. Like, that's who I am. And that no one can take away from me. And that's what I want us to start to find. Your motivation is what God destined and created and has for you. That's your fate. Once you know what that is, you can conquer anything. What's weight? Literally, seriously, like it's nothing when you know who you are. Jeremiah 1:5 says that he already knew you in your mother's womb and has destined you to be a prophet among the nations. Whatever you're saying may change, or however you say it. We're all saying with our words, with our actions, with who we are, that Christ is King. That's what we're all saying, but we may say it different ways. I may say it in front of a YouTube channel, a YouTube camera, or in front of 50 teenagers. You may say it to your grandkids, but we are all doing it in different roles. Does not change who we are. Nobody can take that away from you, no matter if you're a size 2, 10, or 20. Nobody can take that away from you. And that is the motivation that I wanted us to get to. Like, it's in you already. There's nothing to find. It's more of let's dig it out and bring it to life. And so I really hope that today, like, I was able to help you see, and bear with me because it's my first real speaking to strangers moment. But really help you see that you have been created for wonderful works. He has a plan for hope and a future within you. There's nothing out external that you need to find. There's no motivation, there's no book that you can read that's going to give you or change who you already are. You are beautifully, you're wonderfully made. If you continue to reflect on what you've done and what God has already done in you, all that's going to do is spur you on to more good works. And whenever you find those traps, those snags, identify them and take them out like a light. Identify those snags and move on from them so that they do not continue to snuff out your motivation. So, what next? I mean, what do we do next? Document your journey. Document your success. Write it down. If you like me, Instagram it. Whatever. Document your journey so that you can know that you've made success, that you're moving in the right direction. Commit that you're going to persevere. There's going to be some sacrifice that has to happen. And whatever you lose is nothing in comparison to what you've going to gain. Okay? Continue to know that whatever you lose along the way is nothing in comparison to what you gain. And that even things that you lose never take away who you are. You were created. You didn't create yourself. So once you make a TV, that TV can't become a radio. Just can't do it. The TV cannot function correctly, but it's just going to be a malfunctioning TV. And that's the same for us. We're child of God, children of God. We can't change who we are. So, there you have it. How did it go? I think it went okay for my first time. If you have any feedback for me, leave it below. I would love it. If you're a public speaker or motivational speaker and you have some tips for me, please don't hesitate to leave them below. Do you know somebody who needs motivation? Do you have a church or a school or a job that needs a little bit of motivational speaking? Go to www.simplypassionatelife.com or connect with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Tell me what you know lies within you. The whole premise of my speech was live simply, live passionately, turn your passion into action, and know that your motivation doesn't need to be created. It's already in you. So leave your comments below, subscribe, share, and I'll see y'all next week.